What's up, y'all? It's Kirk and Tommy here, back for episode 3 of SeptemPeaks, Zen or the Skill to Catch a Killer, which is technically episode 2, but it's episode 3 of our show. So. I'm just going to read a synopsis real quick, and then we'll actually get into the... Jesus Christ. We'll actually get into the story of the episode. So, Ben Horne's brother Jerry arrives in Twin Peaks, and then together they travel to One-Eyed Jack's and meet with the Madam Blackie O'Reilly, which is like what? Audrey leaves a clue for Cooper at the Great Northern, and Deputy Hawk finds a bloody towel near the crime scene where crime scene? I don't know what crime scene that would be. But
I was going to say,
is it the train car?
Yeah, that's
Have they found the train? Yeah, okay.
Like maybe they found it by now.
Okay. So then, pretty much, I mean, that was just like a super general plot of the episode, but I know this is the introduction to Jerry Horne, which is one of your favorites, right?
For sure.
Twin Peaks.
Characters.
What? Just before we even get into that, what about him is like your favorite? Like why? Like what makes him that to you?
I don't know. It's just like there's all this serious shit going on in Twin Peaks, and then it's like, I'm Jerry. He's just so
breath of fresh air. Yeah.
Comedic relief.
Yeah,
he's that guy.
And he always is too, even in the later seasons.
Yeah, in the later seasons it gets even crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Jerry's definitely a lighthearted character. Like he's just funny. But yeah, I actually thought I put that he was hilarious and a nice shakeup of seemingly nice and well-meaning characters.
For sure.
We quickly see Ben is along for the ride of being a scumbag. The two flipping a coin to see which gets to deflower the newest prostitute hired at their club, One-Eyed Jack's, which is like, oh, okay. But this is after a pretty iconic scene where Jerry comes home to the Horne family and shares some baguettes with brie cheese with Ben, and kind of ruins their family dinner, but also is just kind of like a flashy entrance for the character. But then after they visit One-Eyed Jack's, Mike and Bobby meet with Leo, who demands the money the two owe him, the $10,000 mentioned in the previous episode. And then Leo explains that he also suspects his wife is cheating on him, and this puts Bobby on high alert because obviously Bobby and Shelley have been sleeping together, and Bobby goes to see Shelley the next day to find that Leo had beaten her, and he vows to kill Leo if he ever catches him hurting Shelley, which off bat is like, all right, Bobby.
Yeah,
like,
he
you have a gun.
He vows to Shelley, by the way. Not to
Right. Yeah, because every time Leo comes back, he's always like, whoa.
He's like, sir,
tries to hide. Yeah, he's a little bitch, bro. Which is funny because Bobby ends up being a cool character, but it's like, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, Twin Peaks, the characters at the beginning are not necessarily going to even remotely resemble the characters at the end. You know what I mean? Because some of them change so much. It's crazy. Hawk calls Hooper about a one-armed man in the hospital when he sees Gerard. Is that his name, right? Philip Gerard, the one-armed man.
The one-armed man.
Yeah,
I can't even.
And he notes like the suspicious nature of like this guy was just here in this hospital, and like I don't know, like I think he was standing over the other girl that they found. So it was like, what's going on here? And yeah, when they find Ronette Pulaski, that shit was crazy, bro. She's just walking on that bridge all like torn up and stuff. That's one of the most iconic shots in Twin Peaks, but it's also one of the saddest like plot points.
Yeah,
ever.
She was like out of it too.
Cause she was like, I don't know. It didn't seem like it seemed like she was a like more goody two shoes girl than Laura, but she was still just as fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And still like in that like industry or whatever you want to call it. And it's weird because like I don't know. I was thinking about that. I was like, they must have been offering pretty good money to have like all these young girls because the town was only so fucking big.
Right.
So it's like y'all got a lot of young girls in this little
like half the population of teenage girls.
Yeah. It's weird, bro.
It's
like
super weird. But I also wouldn't doubt that some form of that exists too. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. You mean like just today, like in today's
Yeah,
time?
yeah,
or?
anywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
In other countries and
Remember I was telling
states.
you about the guy, told me that story about Mexico.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
That was crazy. He's a vet too, right? You said?
Yeah, bro. Oof. I'm like, guys, subscribe to the Patreon.
For that story. Nah, we don't have a Patreon. Just send us money. But so the following day, Cooper gathers Andy, Hawk, Lucy, and Sheriff Truman into a patch of forest where he conducts a psychosemantic ritual wherein he supposedly will find clues about Laura's murder. This is one of the weirdest, but also, to me, most relatable like pieces of like scenes in the show, because when I was a kid, I would do shit like this.
Oh, really?
Like not like as directly as he does trying to solve a mystery, but like I would always, and I wouldn't even necessarily do a lot of them, but I would always like theorize that, like, if you subconsciously knew something about something and you didn't even know you knew it,
right?
You know, would you influence the facts about that in one way or another? You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like your subconscious influencing your conscious.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like, I've always wondered that, even as a kid, and I didn't know what subconscious meant. I just knew what it was, you know? Like, I've always wondered shit like that. So to actually see them do that and try to like implement it into an investigation, even though it was supposed to be just kind of like weird and funny, it was like I don't know, I related to that heavy, and like when I saw that and then the dream sequence at the end, that won me over. I was like, I'm watching this show, like it's so weird, I have to like see where this goes, you know?
And seeing that as like, you know, first watching it has to be fucking weird, like, because like you didn't have anyone to guide you through Twin Peaks, you just kind of
but I kind of loved that, because here's the thing, like, my parents, they like artistic movies, but they've never shown me a truly abstract film. So when and I don't think it was on purpose, they just aren't into that. You know what I mean?
Right. As a lot of people, because you had to get kind of me into abstract as well.
I remember the first few, you were like, I don't know, man. But once I discovered it, and I guess it was also, it helped me feel like I had identity, because it was something that was different from my family, you know what I mean, that I had, you know. But I don't know, like, I've always appreciated abstract and like the allegorical nature of like using this story to really tell this story, you know what I mean. I love that idea. So yeah. Jacoby and Leo Johnson rouse the most suspicion, but nothing is conclusive in the little like thing that Cooper does. And then enter Tommy's favorite asshole, Albert. Truman and Albert.
Oh no, is this like this is his intro?
This is it.
Ah, man.
So you two, we said this last year, I think, your two favorite boys in one episode, bro.
Damn.
But Truman and Albert immediately do not get along, and it's pretty apparent. I don't think.
Weren't they sure about a fade, bro?
Is it this episode? Because he's like trying to do the autopsy, and then like he has to come in and be like, "What the fuck?" And
I'm pretty sure it is this episode, because I'm pretty sure as soon as he enters, he's like, "I didn't see shit." He's just like talking shit about the town, and then
little boon town.
And then Truman's like, "Sir, obliged to kick your ass. You say another word about my little town here." Like, that shit gets like wild, bro. Like,
yeah. Truman, he was not playing that shit. Which I wouldn't have been either.
Like, I know they're up north, but Truman's definitely like a good old
cowboy,
country boy.
Yeah.
Don't take too much shit talking.
Nah. So James and Donna fuel the fire for each other while Leland dances in his home in anguish and depression. Hurting himself in the process, Sarah yells at Leland to stop what he's doing, because I think he's holding the picture of her and then it breaks and he cuts himself or something. Yeah. This also may be the part, I think, where he has the record player playing and she like rips the thing off.
Oh.
And you remember I was telling you, this is a specific moment that we're gonna come back to when we do the return. Sarah Palmer lifts, I believe it's her left hand, and kind of really abruptly like rips the needle off the record on the record player. And this is very similar to how the Woodsman does so in Twin Peaks: The Return, Part 8. So,
For just fucking
something
crazy.
going on there. There has to be something going on because it's done the same way with the same hand. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's got to be something going on there. We got to come back to that. Cooper has a dream, and Bob vows to kill again in this dream. And then here is pretty much the quintessential Twin Peaks scene, the Red Room. And this is the scene that was parodied in The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live, and was definitely something that got fans on board. I think it got me on board for sure. Like the first time I was watching Twin Peaks. They had the backwards talking, the weird shit going on, and I was just like, what is this, dude? Like, I have to know more about this, so.
Yeah, definitely a fucking weird scene.
It hooked me pretty good, for sure. What episode, like, just off topic kind of thing, but like, what episode got you really into the show? Was it this one too?
It's so hard to say. Like, got me, like, hooked into the show. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd have to say definitely seeing the Red Room, like, because it's just so different, you know what I mean?
It's the first time they go to somewhere else in the show, so it's like, ooh.
Because, you know, I had watched a little bit of Doctor Who by that point.
Right.
I haven't seen too much. I've seen like a couple seasons, but like when they start going to the Red Room, and especially when they go in the Return, when they go just into like interdimensional space,
The White
wherever
Room
the
and
fuck
all that
they
crazy
are.
shit. Yeah.
To me, it gets very like Doctor Who, which is like fucking
Yeah.
awesome, bro. Like, not to say that it's like Doctor Who though. It's like it's I don't
Yeah,
know, it's
just
weird,
spacey.
but
Like, yeah. That's what I call it.
yeah, spacey.
Yeah.
Like, it's all crazy.
Yeah.
Coop sees little like Tony Stark just like floating out there. He's like, not yet. Can't help you guys yet.
I'm an Avenger. Cooper's like, what's that? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole like plot. But I mean, in this episode, you get the introduction to Albert, you get the introduction to Jerry Horne, which both come off as abrasive characters, but also both have some. I don't know about Jerry. I can't think of, but Albert definitely has a lot of good influence later in the show.
Yeah.
So it's like you may not like the way he looks, but he's definitely a necessary and good character overall. You know what I mean? Like he's a good guy.
He's one of those people to where it's like he's so good at his job that he can be an asshole. You know what I mean? Because it's like he just wins, bro. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He's the man, bro. Hey, he talks some shit, but he's from up north.
You love
You gotta.
some Albert, bro. I know you do. It's all good. Dude, I remember when we were watching The Return one time, and you were like, you had me rewind it when there was some part where he like walked up, was looking cool as fuck.
Bro.
We were like, rewind that shit.
Remember when he was about to pop little Laura, what's her name? Laura Dern?
Yeah.
Laura Dern.
Diane.
She's like, it's just right here in my purse. And he's like,
Albert said, oh yeah,
no.
bitch.
Hey. He's just like, yeah, Albert's the man.
I'm listening to that gangster rap at work, bro.
He said you listen to it at
I'm always
work.
listening to that shit at work, bro. I got that shit playing constantly.
If I listen to gangster rap, I start getting too tense. That someone's like, "Hey, do you know that?" I'm like, "What's up, motherfucker?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. Yeah, the apples are out too."
And then, like I said, you get the introduction to the super iconic Red Room. So there's just a lot of important, really awesome stuff that you get in this episode. We just kind of ran through it, so I feel bad that we didn't say more. But what was your favorite part of this episode, the Red Room? Or Albert, because Albert's introduction is pretty
Albert's
good too.
introduction is pretty fun. Because like,
he's
Jerry's
like, yeah, can you spell Lucy, you fucking cunt?
Yeah, like literally.
He's like, you fucking dumb bitch.
Because like Jerry, like I said, Jerry's definitely also one of my favorites, and he has like a little decent introduction. He's
Right.
like a cool guy, but like Albert, bro, like, come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fucking Albert.
You're like, yeah, come on, he's a RoboCop, alright?
Bro, man.
He's the guy who's in RoboCop, and RoboCop wakes up and he's like, "You're gonna be a bad motherfucker."
Yeah,
That's Albert, bro. That's literally Albert, bro. What would you say is the most important part of this episode?
probably the Red Room for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because like then again, you have them discovering like the scene that started the whole fucking show, like the train car or whatever.
Well, and you have,
You know what I mean?
Ben and Jerry going to the sex club, which is like a huge part of later.
More,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
because like they're finding pieces along the trail. It's
if you're talking about real world shit, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, yeah, for the story, definitely the Red Room, like for the show specifically.
For the show,
but
right.
if you're thinking about the real world, like crime plot going on, it's like,
and especially for season 1, like because that's where that so it's like damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as like the ethereal world or whatever, I would say the Red Room, but then like real world, I would say because like they show us the sex club, but like Coop and them haven't necessarily discovered it yet.
No.
So.
No, but we know about
But we know about
I'm
it.
saying, like,
yeah.
the suspense is there now.
For
like,
sure.
oh, shit, this place is real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And
or
at this
may have
point,
been
it
picked up
had
here,
just been, like, heavily referenced, right?
Right.
It just kept saying, like, oh, something, something, one-eyed Jack.
Yeah,
like,
Audrey had the nose. Somebody
Yeah.
else said something about a Jack with one eye.
Yeah,
I think that
it
was
was
when they
all
did the
like-
ritual. There's something about Jack with one eye.
Jack with one eye.
And so, like, yeah. There's just a bunch of shit. Oh, Cooper brings it up, and then Truman explains that it's One-Eyed Jack's. It's a club that's on the border.
Right, yeah.
And then they start thinking about it, but they never go. They don't go there till like later in the season episodes. We didn't watch this episode because we were trying to get the shit done quick. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I love pretty much. I think this is my favorite season 1 episode. Other than the last episode's pretty good too, where Cooper gets shot and you're like,
oh,
like that's a good
yeah,
episode
bro.
too. Spoilers, but I really like. I love Cooper in this. I love how Cooper reacts in the Red Room too. It's
Yeah.
really funny. Like we didn't really go into detail about the Red Room. If you haven't watched the show, you should just go watch the show before you watch these. But regardless, we should describe it. It's basically a big red room with these like weird checker chevron like floors, and a woman who looks like Laura Palmer but apparently isn't, sitting in a chair next to a little person. Is that what you're supposed to call him? Well, little guy.
You're like, fuck.
And he's talking backwards, but we have the subtitles, so we do understand him.
Right.
I don't know if Cooper got the subtitles.
Well, Coop wasn't speaking backwards, though, was he?
He wasn't. Well, no. So I guess he was understanding them though, because he
Yeah.
would respond.
He would
and
respond.
say shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he did understand them. But we get the subtitles, so we understand. And Cooper, who looks a little bit older, that's like terrible old age makeup on him. He's like talking to the little person, and then they call him the man from another place. So I guess I should just call him that. He starts like dancing to this like weird jazz music, and then that's pretty much the scene. And it sounds really stupid and pointless, but it's one of the best scenes in the whole show.
For sure.
Easily one of the best scenes in the whole
Yeah.
show.
In context, you'll understand. Like, if you've seen Twin Peaks.
Well, and just the style and the way it's done. Like they really knew what they wanted. This one's definitely directed by Lynch. They knew exactly what they wanted. Like it was just so well done. Like even if you don't like it, you instantly are immersed into another like realm.
Yeah, you definitely feel like
You know
you're
what I
like,
mean?
oh, this isn't
reality
at all.
that we know at all. Yeah. So, if nothing else, watch this episode just to see that scene.
I'm like, well, just to see how it would.
Right. From Tommy's point of view. Speak for yourself.
I'm like, I only remember episodes with Albert, so.
That was a running joke in the return. You were like, Albert's not in it, bro? Fuck it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man. I mean, we went over everything. I'll edit the stuff we were talking about just then into the middle, so it sounds like it was like,
Okay.
yeah, so that way.
Cohesive.
But yeah, definitely one of the most pivotal episodes of SeptemPeaks. Definitely one of the most pivotal episodes of Twin Peaks. And I had a good time talking about it with Tommy here.
Show.
You got anything else to add?
That's it.
Other than you're an Albert simp?
I'm like, again, fucking.
You're like,
look out
one more
for Albert.
time, just so everybody knows, Albert's the fucking man. But yeah,
Cooper, the dynamic duo.
if you want to help us out, just hashtag Albert's the man on Twitter. We need to get that trending, so thank you.
Albert's the man.
And but we appreciate you guys listening, and we'll be back. Sorry about the delay of episodes, but I'm gonna try to drop 2 today, so that way I have we're caught up a little bit. And we'll be trying to do at least 2 a week because we got to do 8 total before October. So appreciate you guys listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day.
Peace.